Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Lines Forever. Today, I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the west, ending with Team 2 in the east. Starting off with Team 1's northern player, kind of all by his lonesome, and moving southward, we have in Light Oak Tan, Team 1's right, guys. He is playing a UEF for this match as a 1200. To his south, we have in glow-in-the-dark green Snog as an Aeon. He is an 1800. To the southeast, we have in amethyst purple Zum as another Aeon here for Team 1. He is an 1800 as well. In rush to his west is the UEF player of Astro's Shub. Shub? I think that's a Shub. UEF is what he's playing as. He is a 1300. And in lightish red pinky to the south is a Zeros. He is a UEF for this match as a 2000 rated. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. And going down here to the southwest, we have in Emerald Green Kalu. I think that's how you say that name. I never watched the show. He is a UEF here for this match as a 1200. And last but not least here in Royal Blue is Nasimka as a Cybran. He is a 1900. Over Team 1 side of the map, they have four UEF, 2 Aeons, and 1 Cybrans going with the classics here for this game. And they are also missing, of course, the Seraphim faction. Because of that, I don't know why my brain was struggling with that. I was talking about them as a team. Anyway, starting off with Team 2 Southern player, then working our way northward, we have Dot Kalbasa. He is a UEF for this match as a 1300 in Pac-Man Yellow. In orange color, orange to his north is Knightley as a UEF as well. He is a 1700. In Chevy Crimson is the first Seraphim of the match. It is Signal Runner. He is in Chevy Crimson as a 1500. And next door to him on the opposite side of that tiny little pond over there is Freshy. He is a Seraphim as well for this match. He is in Stitch Blue as a 1600. And in Tropical Ocean Blue to his north is It's Coming Home. He is a 1900. He is the highest rated player on Team 2. And he is a Seraphim for this match. And one of the last 2 players introduced here for Team 2 in Batman Gray, it is Lesaus. He is a Siren for this match as a 1400. And in Barbie Pink to his northwest is Thurnis Haley. He is also a Siren for this match. And he is a 1900. And I will apologize, he is tied, being It's Coming Home and Thurnis Haley as the highest rated players on Team 2. So apologies, Thurnis Haley did not need to snub you there on highest rated or tied for highest rated over on Team 2 side of the map. And for these 14 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 18,000 mass on the field, which means it's a little bit over 1,000 mass per player. A lot of it, of course, is surrounded by all these little mountains in the middle of the map. There's a little bit in the corners, but it's mainly in the middle. And, of course, as we're seeing, our players are rushing to grab all of that reclaim. But, of course, they're also rushing to grab the mexes. Let's take a look at Team 1 side of the map. And there's just a lot of shotgunning of mexes straight down the middle. So it's going to be very difficult to kind of determine who's going to get what, when, where, why, and how. But there is a quad mex position here. Looks like it's going to go for Rye Guys. And besides that, is that the only grouping of mexes besides the main base mexes? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else is just in their main bases are kind of one-offs from there. But again, a lot of mexes straight down the middle. There's 14 players, 7 on each team, and pretty much everybody is going to the middle. It is going to be a cluster in the middle, and that is what we love to see. The only players who haven't left as of yet are Team 1's Astro Shove, who's in his main base, and Team 2's Freshy, who's just going for a lot of spam. I'm assuming he's going to move to the front here shortly. I would be very surprised if he doesn't. And we even have the backline players of Signal Runner and Lasas moving in, so I wouldn't be surprised if everybody goes to the middle. That'd be a lovely sight to see 14 players all lined up next to one another, shooting at one another, blowing each other up. Always a fun thing to have in this game. 7v7s, of course, are plagued with desyncs. From what I remember, when I made sure this game was actually castable and making sure there's not a desync at like 20 minutes or whatever, I don't think there's any desyncs at the end of the match. We will see. I don't think there were, but again, it's one of those things where I go through kind of a couple hours or so of just making sure matches work and stocking them up, and then forgetting if like, oh, is there a desync at, whatever 1 minute before the game ends or whatever. Anyway, gun has been started here for Thurnis Haley in the north, securing this north side of this, whatever shape of map this is. Looks like a really weird, like, hex or something. Kind of reminds me of a fat symbol from God of War, the 2018. I've been playing that recently because I've been finishing up the last things. I had to do a couple Valkyries. I had to kill and whatever to get myself prepped up to play Ragnarok. I haven't played it yet. Gonna play it probably in the next week or so. But that kind of reminds me of some of those door symbols or whatever, but you just don't see the tail end of the rune or whatever. Anyway, in the middle of the map, first com-on-com action is between Zum, UEF, and Aeon, and Signal Runner's Seraphim. And of course, the differences in hit points is only 500. It's not a huge discrepancy. The only main discrepancy, of course, is the UEF and the Cybran ones, being the UEF at 2,000 more hit points than the Cybran faction. Dakabas is down here, going to get shot at by Nasimka here pretty shortly, coming in, kind of sneak in around that little mountain there. We do see that Azuros is pushing into the middle. Team 2's Knightley's over there. Team 1's Kalu is hanging out. Actually, he's not pushing in. He's just kind of waiting to see things happen. We do see that. Looks like It's Coming Home and Snog are about to just get into it. Team 1 PD online for It's Coming Home. Going to give him advantage in that regard. Lasas pushing in. And now we see that gun upgrade is done for Thurnis Haley. First upgrade of the match is now done. I think that's the only upgrade that's been started as of yet. Yep, that's the only upgrade that's been started so far. Very surprising. 7 players on each team, 14 in total, and only 1 player has gun now. Very, very surprising. But it is a decent, not super early gun, but it is decent. But we do see with that gun upgrade on board, look at Team 2's Thurnis Haley's pressure. Gun has now been started for Azuros in the middle of the map, rooted to the spot. Doesn't really have to worry about a whole lot. Does have a couple of incoming strikers from Team 2, but he has his own, and his comm will get some nice veterancy for that. But you see Ryguys is in full retreat. Ryguys actually sitting at 0 mass killed, and he's running for the hills. I don't blame him. A gun comm and a bunch of Team 1 support, especially with Lasas coming in to assist these 2 Cybran commanders, really pressuring the northern side of Team 1. And we even see that Snog having to divert resources northward to assist, just to try to throw at least one of these players off is going to really hurt Team 1 in the middle. Especially with a 2-pronged attack looking like it's going to come here from It's Coming Home and Signal Runner. Gun opposite to the east here for Freshie going. Gun has been started here for Zum, and here come the upgrades, folks. T2 coming online here for Kalu. It's a 2v1 situation between Nasimka on Team 1 and Knightley and Kapasa here for Team 2. Both of those players have no upgrades on board. Lots of T1 Mech Marines running around trying to distract Nasimka's comm and those other nearby forces. Gun has been started for Snog. This is just steamrolling the northern side here for Team 2. Look at this huge amount of territory has been gained. And Thurnis Haley is not stopping anytime soon. He's not giving any moments for his opponent to rest. Looks like he's just going to claim that quad max, or at least his teammate is, and he's going to help secure it and then call it a day there. But again, look at that. He's over the 50% mark, almost at the 75% mark of map control on the northern side. Guns almost done here in the middle. Speed on the way here for Zum. Gonna go for a range, I would assume, next. Gotta wait a couple more seconds. There it is. There's the range upgrade. And gun speed is almost done here for Snog. Going to go for shield. Already has range on board that commander. So we went for range, then speed, then shield. And gun has been started for Ryguys. Hopefully he fell back enough to give himself enough time to build that upgrade. Again, Thurnis is now back on the warpath, once again pushing in, again slowly exerting more and more pressure on the map. If he's not careful, he might be the first killed because he's pushing very far forward. But look at this. A drop to the northwest here, outbound from Lasas, using the distraction that Thurnis Haley is causing, and probably trying to hope and pray that Ryguys doesn't notice that that drop is going up down there. Thurnis Haley, look at this. He's pushed all the way essentially into almost Ryguys' main base. T2 land is online. Look at them. He's producing the Sparkies. There they are. There are the Sparkies. There they are. I always want to say bark bark whenever I see them for some reason, because I feel like Sparky is a good name for a dog or something. Maybe that's probably what it is. But they have a gun on board. They can do some stuff. They can fight back. Just barely. They're not civilians anymore. They are full combatants and should be treated as such. Stealth coming online here for Nasimka. He already has gun on board. It looks like Azuros has been shoved off of this position by Freshie and the host of Team 1 units nearby. Zum coming in with a speed / range upgrades on board. gun speed and range has been started for Lasas. Of course, Bright Guys has his own gun on board, and we have some not the fighter bombers inbound from Team 2's. It's coming home, and looks like those bombers will be taken out. They went after a T2 mechs. Yep, T2 mechs, and they are now dealt with, but of course the damage is done. The mechs cannot be saved. It's not coming in with the shield, gun, and speed. Gun, speed, / range upgrades. Lasas has to cancel his. That's going to be a little bit of the win, and now Thurnis Haley has taken some hit points. Has not taken some hit points. He's lost some hit points due to the pressure from Rye Guys. Base is still progressing quite nicely. Team 1 Medusa inbound. That's not going to feel good here shortly. And in the middle of the map, not as many comms I expect to just kind of just slam themselves together in terms of large groups of them. That's what I love to see, is just 8 comms on screen. Take a nice little screenshot, use that as the thumbnail kind of thing, and just everybody just dies because it's just cascade kind of thing. But it's not really happening right now. Our players not thinning themselves out nicely, but spreading themselves out nicely, making sure every avenue is covered. Gun has been started here for Nightly. The only comms on the front line for Team 2 that are not there are nobody. Well, I guess you could count Nightly, but he was on the front line, fell back for Gun. The only comm on Team 1's front line not there is still Astro Shub. Shrub? Shub. I always want to say Shrub for some reason. But look at this pressure in the middle. Team 1 to 0 is holding off with Zum against Freshy's forces with some assisting forces from Nightly. 11 minutes on the clock, and nobody has died. I feel like that's to be applauded. I feel like at 11 minutes somebody has died in a 14-player game. 2 gun upgrades going down here for Team 2. Lots of units over here. But Nasimka's going in for the jugular. He's going straight for that fire base that's being built. We do have Kalu trying to assist T1 PD being built to try to deter incoming T1 forces. There's a decent amount of mech marines, but there's a lot of strikers in there as well. Look at these engineers. They just want to assist. They just want to feed their families. They want to get some reclaim and call it a day. But it is not the case. There is no civilians in this game. They are all combatants, regardless if they have a gun on board or not. We do see that Thurnis Haley providing some cover for the Sauce. They're both up to the green now. Both of them have gun on board. Snog has shield, gun, and speed on board. Gun, speed, and range. And then, of course, the shield on board. Azuro's getting lots of attrition, and Zum as well. Both going to tick over into the 2-star department. Get nice little medals pinned to their chest. Azuro's takes a overcharge to the face. Not going to love that. Bomber over top. Just going to annoy Zum a little bit. Now the fighter bombers inbound for Azuros' commander, I would presume. There they go. They're dropping the bombs, trying to dodge. Does a very good job of actually dodging all of those shots. But it does allow a little bit of time for Freshy to catch up. Zum coming in with this nice little hook maneuver, trying to 2v1 Freshy. Here come a lot of those forces. They are inbound for Freshy, trying to just push into Azuros. He has nothing left besides a couple of pillars. And now we see that Nasimka has shoved Kalbasa into the water. He kicked him off the cliff and said, "No soup for you, not tonight," and go away. We have walls now being, a wall of units, not necessarily walls being produced. We have some obsidian tanks on the front line here for Snog going after Lasas, and Third is shifting northward. Oh, nope, going to shift southward to assist Lasas. It could be a 2v1 kill here in favor of Team 2. That could be a nice little kill. And Snog, he's like, oh no, that's not good. I see Thurnis Haley now. Goodbye. And Freshy still doing a very good job of forcing back Team 1's commanders. And Signal Runner in the middle of the map here getting a T2 upgrade on board. These players are not letting any piece of territory be taken or given without a fight. Gun coming along here for Signal Runner here very quickly, I might add. Already at 50%. Is it skipping? It's skipping numbers. Look at that. That's how fast it was going. We have some gunships inbound from Team 1's air shub going after Thurnis Haley. Thurnis, you're not feeling good there, pal. You need some flak. You need some shields. You need something. And, oh, no, not going to go for the kill. Very interesting. Just shoving Team... Oh, nope. Thought about it again and went, no, I'll go for the kill anyways. Will that buy Thurnis Haley enough time to get some reinforcements nearby? The flak is cutting into the gunships. Thurnis Haley's dropping pretty close to the red. He could get a rank in veterancy, but Knightley is killed off by Nasimka, and Zum is killed off by Freshy, and Thurnis Haley survives. So each team has lost a player in different fields of combat, or different I wouldn't say theaters, but I guess areas of the map. It's now a 6v6 here. We could have had it. We could have had everybody make it to 20 minutes, but somebody just had to die. Well, 2 people had to die, technically. So it is now a 6v6 game here. And, of course, we have missiles outbound from Team 1. Are they outbound from Kalu? Yes, they are on board with that tactical missile launcher. Team D trying to be built to deter them. And there goes one. Oh, the other one does fire enough shots to deal with that second missile. And now we see Nasimka shoving his weight around, being like, nope, go away. Essentially what Thurnis Haley did earlier on. And that kill on the Thurnis Haley almost happened, but just couldn't make it materialize. I feel like had the gunships continued to just focus on Thurnis, that probably would have been a kill. But that couple of seconds of falling back and then pushing back in was just enough to get some flak nearby to assist. T3 units online. Those bricks are running around here for Thurnis. T2 PD online as well. Snog doesn't have shield. Needs to get his power reserves back online. And it's just going to be a long, drawn-out war here in the north between these 4 players. And in the middle, it's a 2v1 scenario. Once again, Freshie and Team 2's Signal Runner versus Azuros. We do see that it's coming home pretty much unopposed. I'm very surprised to not see him pressure more. That he really doesn't have a lot to really go up against. I mean, he can either go south going after Azuros or going north going after Snog, but decided to just kind of play it a little bit more relaxed. T3 air online for the Sauce. T2 air, of course, online for It's Coming Home. T3 air online for Signal Runner. So 2 potential 3 air plays for Team 1. T3 air online, T3 air online. And that's it for Team 1. So 2 air plays for sure for Team 1. Possible 3 air plays for Team 2. At least 2 at a minimum. Nisimka doing very well in forcing back Team 2 and just keeping them at bay. Freshie having to send forces down here to assist. Freshie continuing to just full steam ahead. We have a couple of these players in this game where they just don't care. Full send it. If I die, I die kind of thing. Team 2 at 700 almost mass per second. Team 1 at 550 roughly. So Team 2 ahead by 150 mass per second. T2 coming online here for Azuros. Needs to get some hit points back. He is sitting at 3-star veterancy, but is kind of suffering in the hit point department. Also would like to probably get some PD nearby to protect himself. The Sauce coming in with that gun and stealth commander. Right, guys, T2 and gun on board. Snog fixes power reserves. Now he has some shields on board going after those bricks. For Thurnis gets a nice little overcharge. Almost one taps that brick and kills off the other one nearby. That'll give him some more veterancy to gloat about and pin on his chest with some chest candy. We do see Kalu, again, being very good at just being an assisting player here, going for missile launches, going after T2 mexes, going after T1 mexes, going after anything he can go after. How much mass is his comm killed off? 1,800. That's definitely respectable. There goes another T2 mex. That's going to hurt the ecos, of course, ever so slightly. Nano repair online, coming on here for Nasimka. Missile outbound going after... Is that a PD emplacement it's going after? Yep, there goes that TML from Kalu. Just devastating any sort of operations for Team 2. We do see a group of Riptides over here. Nice little squad coming down here to secure this section once again. Lots of units surrounding the Simka's commander. He's not going to get swarmed anytime soon, at least without a fight. We're seeing that Team 1 Snog and Ryguy starting to coagulate with one another and trying to form a front line over here, kind of ignoring this section of the map for a little bit. And Thurnis Haley has fallen back into the water and is going for Nano. Lasaw still on the front line. I feel like that's a little bit unadvised. He is an air player, so losing him would be, losing anybody is not something anybody wants, but especially air players. They don't want to die on just because they're in the middle of nowhere without any coverage kind of thing. Nano repair has been started here and finished here for Nasimka. It's just missile launcher, missile launcher, missile launcher, missile launcher back and forth here between Freshie and Nasimka. Vipers versus the... no, those are those Ethysas? Yeah, I can't pronounce Seraphim units. I've stopped trying to, and we'll just continue to do that. A couple of units inbound here from Azuros going after ranged T2 mexes. 9 mass a second. That's going to hurt. More T2 PD being built here for It's Coming Home. That's a T3 mex he's going to protect. That's not going to feel good if he loses that. I like how there's a T3 mech in front of a T2 mech instead of a T2 mech in front of a T3 mech. You would think it's the other way around, but it is not. Going to go after that T2 mech first, and pinging going down for that T3 mech, or possibly because there's units over there. A couple of AA nearby. They'll deal with that. I think the T3 mech is going down at a minimum, though. That's going to hurt. It's coming home's eco. Team 2 is almost, actually, I was going to say almost crossed 900, but kind of teetering the numbers there. And everything in the middle kind of has died down a little bit. We do see some units from Thurnis Haley not over here, going straight southwest, going after Azeros' forces, and a couple of engineers outbound from Astro. Shield is almost down on board that commander, though, so he has gun, T2, and shield here shortly. Nano repair, a little bit over a quarter done here for the sauce, if I can actually English correctly. Riptide still causing a muck down here for Team 1's Kalu, from Doc Cavasso, doing a very good job of just being annoying. And we see a couple of gunships are inbound, going to deal with that here shortly. So it looks like that's not going to go unpunished. Taking a look at the map control, Team 1, I mean, it's roughly about the same. It's kind of hard to tell. It does look like the attack in the northwest got dealt with very quickly. So no real issues there. Doesn't look like there was much of damage done to Ryguys' base. Nano repair over half done now. Looks like that T3 mech does get saved. 75 hit points remaining. Oof, that was very close here. We do see that Sigma Runner continuing to push in now with some assistance from Freshy's T3 units. And Freshy's over here, down here with his his Percy's and his Ilshis. Love to see that combo. Probably my favorite combo of factions in this game. T2 Ilshis with T3 Percy's with T3 and T2 mobile shields with T3 Seraphim shields and the Mavor to boot. Or the YOLO, either or gives you a nuke or gives you artillery. I think that's my opinion in terms of the best. Essentially, if you were to cobble together two factions, that would be Seraphim and the UEF. Would definitely be a top contender in my opinion. Granted, you can never underrate the teleporting nonsense of the Aeon and the Cybran, where you can teleport in some SACUs and sacrifice to a Colossus, and then bring in a Seraphim Telemazer commander, Cybran Telemazer commander, and wipe out everything else nearby. You have two lasers on the other side of the map randomly. Laser has been, speaking of laser, has been canceled for Thurnis. Looks like Thurnis wants to get a little bit more mass before he commits to that upgrade. Shield heavy has been started here for Snog. Lots of ASFs inbound here from Team 2's air player of Lasas. Going after and trying to airlock Team 1. At least the northern half of Team 1 at this point. The Simca down here in the south, still fighting the good fight. He's dropped into the yellow. 13,000 mass killed on board that commander. His bricks are pressuring Freshy. Freshy doesn't have that many forces remaining. He does have a couple of Percys inbound. But the Simca can't gain any more veterancy, so that's a good thing for Freshy. Bad thing, though, that he's losing units bit by bit. And at 0 speed, it feels like the game is running at -1 speed for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it's just kind of the feeling that I get. Nassau still, again, trying to do his best and kind of poke, I mean, not poke holes, but cover holes for Team 2's defenses. Sigma over here facing down some Percys, though. That's never a good thing. He has gun and T2 on board and 3-star veterancy. There are some Percys nearby here for It's Coming Home to shield his fellow 1900. Not fellow 1900, his fellow 1500, excuse me. Thurnis is the 1900. See, I did it again. Apologies, Thurnis. I apologize for saying that you're something that you're not, or not something that you are. A couple of missile launchers get double killed here from Team 1's. Although he's like, I saw that that was there. Missile launches outbound, gonna get reclaimed. So those are gonna get denied here for Dot Kabasa. I did like the strategy though, of trying to just use some missiles to go after Kalu. Looks like there are 2 inbound. Shield is being built. Kalu is gonna dodge those quite easily. Will that shield take a hit? No. So not only will he not take damage, but his shield emitter will be fine. And Freshy looks like he's going to get walked down by it. Nasimka shots inbound. There goes. One shot was all it took for the comm at the end there. And it is now a 6v5 in favor of Team 1. The blue player on Team 1 killed a blue player on Team 2. It's blue on blue violence here. We have pink on pink violence. We have That's, oh, I guess we had Zum, which was purple, and Nightly, which was, I think he was orange. So there was some orange on orange crime. We do have, no, that's, I mean, kind of yellowish versus yellow down there. But anyway, nothing too crazy. That is one thing I do wish you could do, is essentially set, like, you are the darker shade colors on one team, and the other team is the lighter shade colors. So that way there's not a, well, there's pink over here and pink over here, and, you know, glow in the dark green and yellow. So those colors are kind of similar, and the pinks obviously are similar colors. Whereas you can kind of do that just to make it easier to track, especially for me. So just the food for thought. Developers, if you're watching, if there's a way to do that, I appreciate it. If not, that's okay. I'll just continue to struggle over here. Anyway, Nasimka going after, now it's coming home space. T3 land headquarters, that's going to hurt. Of course, he has a chicken being built up to the north. It's actually gifted over to Thurnis Haley, but It's Coming Home is fun to get. Essentially, It's Coming Home is the sugar daddy for Thurnis Haley at this point. You know, the almost 600 mass income for It's Coming Home, and Thurnis only at 200. We do see an attack in the north inbound from Snog. Omni's going down. That's going to hurt, but look at this. He's getting revenge for his teammate of Ryguy's earlier from the pressure from Ryguy's. We do see It's Coming Home over here hanging out with his Firebase. Nano Repair coming down here for his Signal Runner. Thurnis finishes an experimental, and then it's immediately transferred over to It's Coming Home anyways. What was the point? I will admit, what was the point? It was definitely owned by Thurnis Haley. Everyone saw it. It's like, no, I don't want that. You take it. Random. Anyway, 24 minutes on the clock here. Team 1 and Team 2 now at 1.2K, 1.3 to 1.2K mass incomes. I was going to say they're tied, but Team 1 eked ahead a little bit. But look at this. Thurnis Haley, while the attack down the middle happens, comes all the way around and takes out Ryguy's entire base. T2 Naval Headquarters online for him. We see it. We see big pond. We see big pond, small boat. But small pond, big boat. Not big boat, but, you know, decent boat. The cruiser missile nonsense is online for Ryguy's. But here comes this threat of bricks. PD being spammed up very quickly in Snog's base. I had to look at which player was which because there's, again, 14 players. 3 of them are dead. We still have to check who's who. There's 11 players remaining now. PD being wiped out. Team 1 and T2 trying to do what they can. Bricks breaking through a little bit. Looks like they're going to get shoved away by this incoming Harbinger threat, though. Colossus was under construction at the moment. That has been delayed. And they've taken out most of the PD. Probably could have just taken out the T3 Mexes at that point. And we have some gunships inbound both in the UEF department here. But Snog defeated by It's Coming Home's chicken. He pushed too far forward and then got wiped out by that chicken. Was that same chicken down here? Was that was a different chicken. I mean, I guess he's producing a chunk of mass, so he can produce 2 chickens at the same time. And those brick forces getting into the middle of now Azuros' base. And it looks like the Mexes will be fine, actually. So nothing of huge value was lost besides a couple of engineers and some PD. But chicken is bearing down the front door of Team 1, and it's not a good day for that. Super fun game, says Snog. I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, but I'll take it as not sarcasm. Chicken in the middle of the map here, going to face down a bunch of Percy's, though. Percy's could easily turn around and wipe that chicken, to be fair. And I think Azuris heard me from the ether or dark ether, depending on what side of things you enjoy more. I prefer the ether, but with Black Ops 6 coming out, the dark ether is still the main thing. Of course, the ether story is done. I kind of do miss Richtofen and, well, Richtofen I guess is coming back, to be fair, but Nikolai and Dempsey and Takeo and all them, I do kind of miss that group. And the Fictus crew, though, with Stu and Cheer and all them. Transit, whatnot. Transit wasn't a great map when it came out. It definitely became more of a fan favorite. But definitely when it came out, it was not a great map. I don't like Die Rise, though. I still don't like it. Just never really liked that map. Anyway, in the north, Chicken has been defeated. A little bit of reclaim here for Team 1 to scoop up. Team 1 still at 1.3K. Team 2, 1.2, 1.1K. And that Chicken's now being surrounded. Gunships T2 and T3 are inbound. And that Chicken's AA is definitely a little bit not great. So that gunship threat, a little bit. We'll take out a couple of those gunships because they stacked up. Notice here they built another experimental. What is it? It's a monkey. Air grid being expanded upon by Lasas. Chicken down here in the south being hit by those gunships once again. So another chicken receives gunship death threats here from Team 1. And missiles are just... he just won't... Just produce the Billy Nuke at this point, please. You've probably fired, I don't know, probably 100 or so missiles at this point. I don't know how many missiles he's fired at this point, but he's produced enough where at this point you might as well just build the Billy Nuke. I mean, you have T2, you have gun, you have, you know, the TAC missile. You might as well just build Billy Nuke. And you actually would actually break through the TMD or even force Dakabasa to build more TMD to cover that. Chicken in the middle of the map, creating a nice little exclusion zone for Team 2. But the fighting has died down mostly. The North, Thurnisdaily still putting the pressure on Team 1. And I will admit, though, with the entire base of Rye Guys gone, Team 1's still in the lead for mass income, 1.4K now to 1.2. Team 1 is scaling quite quickly. Obviously, it does help that Azuros has 3 bases right now, so that definitely helps the count to there. And it does look like there was a huge attack straight down the middle here for Team 1's Nasimka, I would presume. Apologies for missing that. Pretty much isolated Kabasa, though. He still has a way to get around. He can go to the water and whatnot, but there's no nearby base, so he's got on his lonesome. Looks like Kalu is the main target here, building PD to defend himself. Lots of flak, though. Going to kill off a couple of gunships and shove them away, going no soup for you. And then the ASF for Lasas is going to be like, well, that was just a prelude to what would happen. Gunships are inbound for Kalu. I think Team 2 is kind of tired of the tactical missile nonsense. And Kalu will be forced into water. He can still fire from the water, though, to be fair, but now he's further away. 3 chickens in the middle of the map here for Team 2 as it's coming home, bearing down 1 Colossus. Would not recommend. We need air, says Kalu. Well, you are an air player. And you've been producing missiles the entire time. Not a terrible strategy, but you just couldn't make anything work long term with the missiles. And the chicken is just gonna... the chickens are gonna just continue to come home to roost. Stop sending air here, says Freshie. Lots of T3AA being built and wall sections to wall off Team 2. And we see Kalu is back. Back on that shield position. Thurnis builds another experimental. Is it a crab? Is it a monkey? Are they just being transferred over to one another? Probably. Especially because I see messages popping on and off. Zeros builds another experimental, another Colossus in the front lines. Chicken are forced back, and a lot of bricks coming out of Nasimka from over here. It looks like he sent them over to assist with defensive operations. Team 1, 1.5. Team 2, 1.4. Team 2 is catching up, and that cruiser threat's getting more and more annoying. All those engineers just trying to feed their family, and they're being ripped apart by missiles. And Rye Guys essentially has been knocked out of the game for a while. He has a T2 air facility and, of course, a T2 naval facility. But for the most part, he can't really do a whole lot. Zeros builds another experimental. It's probably another Colossus. Yep, there it is. He has 3 Colossi now on the field. And those chickens are still being chased down by said 2 Colossi. And, of course, a crab that's just trying to mimic their, essentially, movements. And there it is. Bro made a Novax. Yep, there it is. Thank you for pointing that out, Nightly. At 29 minutes, Team 1's player of Astro, his... Oh, where is it? Oh, over here. Satellite has been noticed by Team 2. And it's now going to start poking and prodding at those chickens. Which, to be fair, it's not going after the mass extractors yet. It's being more of a defense satellite. Is he actually going to use it as a, quote, defense satellite? I feel like it should be renamed, because it's definitely not used as a defensive satellite. It's been used for an offensive satellite. And yeah, it's actually going back home very weirdly. You never see that, where it's like, yeah, I have a Novax and it's going home to roost. No, you keep it on the other side of the map, on the, the opponent's side of the map. Very strange. Anyway, 2 Colossi and a crab walk into a bar, and chickens are nowhere to be found. Lots of mass being donated to Lasas. It's coming home, and Thurnis Haley looks like Signal One is struggling to spend mass at this point, possibly. Or he's just, yeah, it looks like he's just getting rid of some of his mass bar. Another experimental coming online here from Team 2's airplay of Lasas. Not building bug yet. Don't like the bug, so it's good to see bugs are not there yet. Chicken, 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 and more chicken for It's Coming Home. They're coming home to roost. Or in this case, they're going home to roost on Team 1's side of the map. We have 2 monkeys and 2 chickens inbound here from Team 2's Thurnis Haley, and It's Coming Home. We have 3 chickens inbound, and those 2 Colossi were the main distraction to allow the 2 monkeys to get closer into Team 1's production facilities. But there's 3 more Colossi inbound, And there's a laser and a laser and a laser and another laser coming in to deal with these monkeys. Colossus trying to be built very quickly here, getting up there pretty soon. Lots of T3 engineers just like go, 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 go. Colossus trying to cover for that one being built. Gunships inbound from Astro, and it's just a cluster over here. 2 chickens, 1 Colossus down, 3 Colossus online, and now a satellite overhead. ASF inbound to deal with the gunships. This is going to be a mass dump here for Team 1. Looks like that monkey got some veterancy, trying to stay online. Done a very good job of doing that, but I think its time is gone now. There it goes. Chicken is down. Colossus, that one will probably go down. There's the satellite just kind of rolling over the screen. And did that ASF get hit by some laser fire maybe? Chicken is down. That's 2 chickens and 2 monkeys. Team 1 lost 1 Colossus. Yeah, 1 Colossus because that one barely got out of range of that second ion storm. Down here in the east, Colossus goes down. 2 chickens, 2 Colossi, but 2 more coming in to say hi. This chicken's going to die. 3 chickens are down. 1 crab remains. Lots of dead everywhere. Can't win them ever, I think. It's coming home. Is he talking about those were some bad fights? GG, says Nightly. I wouldn't say GG yet. That crab either will die by chicken or die by ion storm. I think it's going to be die by ion storm. Oh, if we can get out of range. You got to turn around. You walk slow when you walk backwards. Ooh, it's going to be close. Ion storm will activate. There it goes. Goes after the bricks. That's very lucky. Will the... Ooh, there he goes. There he goes. There goes the crab. He is dead as a doornail. Couple of Percys down here. Gunships waiting, just waiting for it. And it's coming home Control Ks because he lost all those experimentals, and he's thinking that that's a lot of mass dumped on Team 1 side of the map. It's not over yet. I don't agree with that, Control K. There's still a lot of time to come back in this game. Team 2 could fund a game ender or a couple of artillery pieces together. What is this up here? Team 1 naval facility up here. A couple of engineers. Explosions happening. Thurnis Haley gets... Does he control K as well? Yeah, Thurnis Haley control Ks. It didn't even give me the message, which is very weird. But Team 2 loses. It's coming home, and Thurnis Haley. It's now a 5v3 in favor of Team 1. A couple of torpedo launches. I mean... Yeah, they're definitely not in range. I do love the fact that there's just T2 engineers dropped. There's Sparkies, too. Dropped down here just to be annoying, essentially. But that definitely shapes up or changes up the landscape quite drastically for Team 2. It's now 3 players left, but Theosauce does have almost 1,000 mass at his disposal. At this point, he might just go for Game Ender. I feel like that's a way for Team 2 to come back in this game. Team 1, are you... Oh, you have a nuke. Okay, nukes are nice. Like to watch nukes go across the map and blow stuff up. Satellite, and... That's it looks like. It's really Team 2's time to shine. They can take all that mass, especially Lasas's mass income, and just throw it in Team 1's face with artillery or game enders, or both. There's no harm in doing both. Couple of Colossus get stormed by some chickens, and that's going to be some mass jumps for Team 2. And again, that's another thing where, yeah, Team 1 lost, or Team 1 killed, or a lot of experimentals off for Team 2. But there's 3 Colossi wrecks right here that Team 2 can grab. So I wouldn't count your chickens before they hatch kind of thing. I do understand it's frustrating, that sort of thing, but I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with the departures from both Thurnis Haley and It's Coming Home. And didn't even get a message from Thurnis Haley about him leaving. It could have just been like a pop-up very quickly right after It's Coming Home or before It's Coming Home, but just don't agree with that. We have some torp bombers inbound from Kalu for some reason. Don't know where they're going. XP says Zum's still in the game, hanging out from beyond the grave. Dot's building that fat boy down there. But I feel like at this point I can speed it up to probably +2 at this point. I think both teams are just going to play it more relaxed at this point. There is an attack from some chickens inbound, though. from Signal Runner. He's going for, looks like this base, once owned by, I think this was Zum's base. And there's nothing to defend, and he's actually just not going to do that. He's going to go north and deal with this naval facility that's already being dealt with by Lasas. There's a monkey over here taking out some T2 mexes. Again, Guy's just getting absolutely destroyed. Dot builds an experimental strap bomber, takes out the T1 naval facility. Actually, it got to T2, apologies. There was a bulwark over there. Very surprising. And everything else is gone. And then just bombs the reclaim, because why not? Rude. Right, guys. Rude. I will agree with that. That was rude. Laser has been started here for Lasas. Maybe he'll go for teleporter, but I don't think that's a smart play, especially being down in the comm numbers. A couple of bricks running around here for Team 1's Nasimka. Going after some T3 mexes here. That's not a good thing here for Signal Runner. Producing more chickens for Signal Runner, though, so constantly pumping out the chicken factory. And now we see a satellite overhead here for Astro. Couple of crabs online here for Team 2. That's how he's spinning that mass. I don't think that's the best idea. You've had two players quit because of mass dumping by Team 2. And now we have artillery online for Team 1. That's outbound from Astro. And he's going after the air grid. Coupled together with that satellite. Great combo there. Nuke outbound from Team 1. Yep, Team 1 going after Doc Kabasa. That's going to hurt. That's not going to feel good. No SMB coverage. For shame. Kaboom! Kills off the entire base. And now Kalu should have no issues with his attack missiles coming in. I guess there's still some TMD dotted around. Gunship, T1, T2s, though, going after the Fat Boy. That's not really going to work. T3s, though, those will work. And that's a dead Fat Boy. But here we go. Chickens just carve an entire path on the northern side here for Azuros. He loses that entire base. And, alright, guys, he's still in the game. He's not really doing well in terms of mass, in terms of territory, in terms of the everything, but he's still in the game, so I will give kudos to him for doing that. Fat Boy's now in the water, being nice little sneaky boys. There are 3 of them. They're not moving anytime soon, and we do see that Astro's over here. There is a chicken. There's a monkey inbound and a chicken inbound, so probably should move, because that's going to be a dead comm. We have a bug inbound to assist, though, so there's the bug in this game, and there goes a shield. Still more crabs. Team 2's eco is being ripped apart. 200, 300, 400 mass gone here for Lasas. The numbers are constantly going back and forth, possibly power related. The chicken and the monkey get shoved away by the bug. At that point, you might as well just go for the economic damage. Yeah, you can go for Astro, but it's not going to do a whole lot. Oh, that chicken's going to kill him anyways. There he goes. Team 2 scores another kill. And is now a 3v4. I'm still in favor of Team 1. Strap bombers are inbound, going after probably the artillery. There goes 1 bomber. 2 bombers do make it. Shields transfer over, but it does not matter. I still feel like they should have just taken out more of the base and called it a day. Artillery still raining in against Lasas. SMD is almost down. SMD looks like it actually did get destroyed. And it's going to get destroyed here shortly. It's not a good day here for that SMD. Another experimental down the middle here for Team 1. It is Nasimka's crab pushing at all these PD. Looks like that crab's going to be perfectly fine with that. Going to get a nice little explosion from the Pigeon and kill off an Omnis. That's always nice. Team 2 definitely has air control, but they're just not using it as much as they probably could. I think, who had it? It'd be Kalu, I think. At 26 ASFs, and the Zeros does have some as well. 42 satellites. He has 2 satellites online. Obviously, they were most likely built by his team of Astro. Crabs inbound, but again, this is going to be another repeat of last time. Of there's 5 Fat Boys online. You're not really going to do much against 5 Fat Boys. Maybe you'll get 1, maybe. But Azuros is just building Fat Boys and calling it a day in that regard. Oh, that's a... I mean, you're not focusing one crab and then the other. That bothers me. Colossus comes in, shields the Fat Boys. And there they go. That's another mass dumping here from Team 2. I don't agree with going for crabs. I mean, yeah, you've taken out a chunk of mass for Team 1. And now you're producing more mass than Team 1 entirely, but I feel like, you know, a game emitter could have been half built by now. A couple of artillery pieces could have been built by now. Something else, but it just wasn't on the minds of Team 2. We have a chicken over here being annoying for all of these T1, T2 units. 5 Fat Boys is just a lot of Fat Boys. And look, another satellite being built by Zeros. Look at that. So third satellite coming online here for Team 1. More bugs, more bugs, more bugs for Team 1's Nasimka. And again, Team 2 has air control, but or had air control at a minimum, but I don't think they have it much anymore. I just feel like land is not the way to do this. You need to punch through some other way. It's over, says Signal Runner. He might control K. Yeah, says Lasauce. Yeah. I think definitely the departure of Team 2's It's Coming Home and Thurnis Haley definitely did not help. Again, the mass dumping, not good thing. Don't do that. But there's always hope to come back. So it's now a 4v2 in favor of Team 1. Tactical Nuke, 42 minutes on the clock, and now finally Kalu builds tactical Billy Nuke. Why did it take you this long? Please explain. There come the Fat Boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them with a Colossus to boot. That's so much Fat Boy pressure. Those bricks are just being wiped out. Oh, look at them all. Look at those nasty little Fat Boys running around. Teleporter started here for Lasauce. He's going to go for it. Just very entertaining watching these Fat Boys just trundle around. 43 minutes on the clock here. How's the laser going if he does go for teleporter? Oh, he does have laser. Okay, I didn't realize he had laser. For some reason, I don't remember him building it. Anyway, artillery has taken out the air grid here for Lasauce, once owned by Signal Runner. At this point, I think I can just speed it up to +3 because it's going one way, and I think most people watching can see that. Give air Opus. We have some Fat Boys running away from some chickens and some crabs that are slowly catching up to them. It's not going to be enough to win the game for Team 2, but it's definitely going to hurt Team 1. Oh, but the Fat Boys focusing on one crab or one chicken, that's not going to help. Or mostly focusing on one unit. Oh, there's Percy's in the mix as well. There's constant units being built on the back of those Fat Boys. Love to see that. First, second chicken is down. Third chicken about to fall. There goes that third chicken, and that crab is just not going to have a good day. Mid game or MD game over? What? I don't know what that's in reference to, but kaboom! Billy Nuke lands. Opens a little bit of the door for Team 1. Fat Boy down here for Doc Kabasa. He did a very good job of just kind of being very annoying for Kalu. That was all of Kalu's attention was focused on Doc Kabasa. Bugs inbound. Going after the everything in Team 2's Lasauce's base. Satellites over top. It's just, yeah, it's not going well for Team 2. Is that teleporter done? It is. Where is he going? Does he have the power to run it is the question. He's going for Kalu. He's like, no. He's going to get a kill. He's going to go for the tactical Billy Nuke player. Rye Guy's building tactical Nuke as well. Nope. He's even going to get the teleporter off. He doesn't really have a lot of power left, I would presume. Oh, he does. No, he does not. Let me tell you in peace. Just let me get my kill and I'll leave. Just let me get my kill, please. All of his P-gens are going down. All of them are gone, I should say. I heard another explosion in the south. There goes another Billy Nuke. Percy's landing on the beach. Dot keeping them at bay. P-gen's going down. Nuke is outbound. Where is it going? Don't tell me. Oh, it's going for Lasauce. Oh, the man just wanted to teleport. That's rough. There goes the Nuke. He's probably not going to cancel the teleport. He probably knows what's happening. Once he sees the Nuke, he probably should. Maybe he'll just control K. Yeah, he saw the Nuke for a brief moment. The units are inbound. They know where he is. There he goes. He dies in a fire explosion. Kaboom! By a Cyber Nuke, no less. And now it's just Team 2's dot, and now he's gone. And that is the game here, folks. 47 minutes and 53 seconds on the clock. And he was halfway there is what he says. Team 1 wins the game. MVP, I don't really know who is MVP on Team 1. Let me know down in the comments if you have a pick. It's really hard to pick just because there really wasn't, again, the standout-ish player. Nasimka did a very good job. Azurus did a very good job with defense, but I don't think there was really one standout player. Let me know down in the comments, again, what your favorite moment of the video was, or my coverage, or whatever in general. Thank you so very much for watching to the very end of this video, and I will see all of you in the next one.